Well, good morning.
Good morning, Doc.
This is Ralph Tedford, and Ralph Tedford's a very special person to me in here. Ralph Tedford is a special person to a whole lot of people in the city of Flint. Ralph, you're a guy you're retired from security at General Motors.
Yes, I am.
And you have made a thing where you help security in like 35 churches.
36 churches to be exact, Doc. 36 churches in Genesee County are part of the Genesee County Sheriff's Department Security in Ministry program.
Okay.
And that program is one where we go in and we teach them how to set up their own in-house security, how to protect themselves. We teach them the latest con artist games that is pried upon the church. We teach them all of those things, and they are better able and equipped to handle themselves. For instance, one of the biggest examples is that when people want new coats and things like that, they don't go to JCPenney's, they target the churches.
Oh my goodness.
That's one of the biggest things that they have. We found in some cases where carnitis people come to beg for money for the church. They would go into one church, but they have the watch going on at the same time. And they try to get it in time enough to go out to the next service before that service is over. And these ministers were bragging at a dinner once about, we have this person, we have that person. And well, we had that same thing at our church, and but when they got to talking, they found that it was the same person making rounds. And one of the biggest things that we found out is that one of the fellas said that he gets his biggest ripoffs in the Catholic Church.
Really?
He says that what he does, he will wait till Mass takes place, because I'm not Catholic, I really don't know how that function works, but in the heat of Mass, he would walk in and he would ripple his hair, and he have a gas can, and he start interrupted. At that point, about several of the deacons would come forth to go forth to stop him, and the priest said, well, wait a minute, we don't want any problems, just find out what he wants and let him go. He said, well, I've got a car that's broke down about 3 blocks away, I got a wife and 5 children, and I'm out of gas, I need some gas money. He said, so they'll turn around sometime and give him $135, $150. He said, that's a ripoff. So his thing is sealed. He just targeted the Catholic churches.
Isn't that something?
That is something, Doc. So my thing is to go in and teach in our group. We teach them, we set up a class, and if they want to be a part of the security ministry, of course they'll have to pay dues in order to keep us operating.
Right.
But that's what it's about, and we have helped so many people in so many ways in the community and the churches. But it is 36 churches involved as a whole.
Well, that is beautiful. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, and especially you're willing to come in and share how you felt after you tried chiropractic.
Oh God, that is great, Doctor. I feel sensational.
Well, I like words like that. All right. So what did you have wrong?
Well, I had several things wrong. I'll tell you how I first started this, Doc. I was following my mother, but one day I fell off the roof and I broke my wrist. But I was coming in still, but my leg was bothering me. And every time I stepped on it and walked, but when you did my treatment for my back and I sit up, I said, wait a minute, where's my leg pain? I said, he's treating my back, but my leg pain is gone. But after being with you a while, I discovered that your techniques are unusual. You have a touch that only God can give. And what happens when you talk about the mind healing itself, the healing power coming from the brain, because you freed that vertebrae, whatever is necessary, it sends signals throughout your entire body. And through that, God has always talked with me on that, because you're one of the rare people that I've seen, and that's a God-given talent. And it says to me, everybody you know, you need to pass this on to those people, because God's people are suffering needlessly, unnecessarily. Right.
Well, I appreciate those kind words, and it is true. You have had some good relief, and some of the people you've sent in have had good relief. In fact, all of them, I think. And there have been a half a dozen already. I appreciate you a lot for that, and especially coming in. How about You talked about your leg feeling better. We also talked about, well, low back pain.
Yes.
I take it. Now, was it the neck basically that eased your low back, or did I
It
work
was
on
the
your
neck that basically eased the low back.
Okay.
Sometimes you adjusted the back to help speed up the process.
Right.
But the neck was remarkably.
Okay.
Just that little thing felt like you hadn't even touched it at all, but you could feel the results when you stand up. My God, I can move all the way through.
That's amen. That's what I like to hear. All right. Now, pain in the shoulders, that got better, and
That got better. I could only sleep on one side for so long. I had to stop and turn to the other side. If I stayed at one side, the hand would get numb.
okay.
And I had to switch over, but just going back and forth. So, but that has improved a lot.
Okay.
Frequent bladder problem, urination, that's gone. I'm basically normal now, and I'm not taking any medicine for that.
Well, wonderful.
That has
That's
improved.
wonderful. And your feet were better too.
My feet were better, and in fact, a lot of my feet problems, I think, was part of the diabetes thing. You
Okay.
get the tingling in your feet, and that's why I recorded the feet problem. It was that tingling. But that is pretty much gone now, Doc.
The tingling is gone. What
The
about the
tingling is
diabetes?
gone.
Tell us about
The
that.
diabetes has improved tremendously. The blood
Right.
pressure readings are reading excellent. I'm sorry, the blood sugar readings are reading excellently.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all of that is improving.
Well, now you
beyond
do
my
take
wildest.
you take some medicine for
I
the,
do take some medicine.
for the sugar, but are you cutting it down? If your readings are better, do you take less medicine?
I don't always take the medicine, but one thing I have learned to do is to eat properly with that.
All right, that's good.
That is the thing. I do
Absolutely.
exercises, but it's in this last session that the feet and everything are really improving.
So you see a correlation with the neck adjustments or the spinal adjustments and your diabetes and
Absolutely.
your feet, the whole business. Well,
Absolutely. Doc.
you're a happy man, and that's why you send all your friends in here, and I
That's why I
appreciate it.
send them in there.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us today, and we'll hope this helps some other people.
Thank you, Doc.